Sat Sampatim, which is Sat is Turiya, right? We merge into Sat. Sampati Jnanam Abhave, and even though there's no knowledge that we become one with Sat, Sati Sampati Jnanam Abhave, Ekatvam Eva Karanam. What is the reason that we don't know that we become one with Sat?
We don't know the self.
He says Ekatvam, not because of Avidya.
Ekatvam, oh, of course. Of course, there's no other. There's only one.
There's no knower that has an ignorance of it. Not vitim vibhakti asti. The reason he doesn't know is not because he's ignorant, but because there's no second thing the Shruti tells us.
There's no ignorance.
There's no ignorance.
There's no ignorance.
The reason for not knowing in deep sleep is because not that everyone thinks we're unconscious, that I cease to know. But the Shruti is telling us we continue to be conscious in deep sleep. Why don't we know? Because there's no second thing. Even the blackness, when you think of deep sleep, you close your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Deep sleep is like this black thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like I'm looking at it almost. But take away the black thing and take away the one who was looking at it. That's deep sleep. It's not like you're aware of any, right? So naturally we say, it's like anesthesia. I'm unconscious. My consciousness ceased. The Shruti is saying, when you're not aware of anything in deep sleep, the reason is not because of ajnana, but because of ekatvam.
Mm-hmm.
You become one with Sat.
Yeah, of course.
If you can see that, then you understand that Sat is Turiya. But you don't know that you become one with Sat. That's why it's called deep sleep. The agrahana. And therefore he becomes a tiger again. This is the Shruti. It says, Yata, Tat Yata. This is the quote. Yata Somya. Oh, this is the Madhu. Madhu Mitakrito. When all the different herbs, honeys have been mixed up. The
right.
Madhu
Drishnanta. Honey, the honey, honey.
He says,
honey mantra, honey.
Sati Sampadya. So in the same way, Somya, Sarva Prajaha, all the beings, Sati Sampatya, have merged into Sati, into being alone. Na viduhu, but they don't know Sati Sampadhyamahe, that we have merged into Sat.
But they don't know, right?
The reason they don't know is because they become one with Sat, Ekatvam. Not because they cease to know, because the knowing of the knower can never, navi parilopo asti, there's so no break in the knowing of the knower. That's what the Shruti says.
Right.
So the reason he doesn't know is not because he ceases to know, that he's now ignorant, but because na dvitiyam vibhakti, there's no dvitiyam, a second thing, vibhakti, which is separate from him, by which he could know. Even though he's still knowing, na vityam vibhakti asti. It doesn't exist a separate second thing. Somebody, iti sat rupatva,
the question
jnana abhavam. So there's sat rupatva, jnana abhavam eva shashuptat utane nimittam. The cause for waking up from deep sleep is sat rupatva jnana abhavam. If we knew the self, you would never get back into samsara. It would be mukti. But we don't know the self in deep sleep. That we don't know that sat. So because of that, ajnana abhavam, sashuptat nimittam, iti shrutihi. That's what the Shruti is saying. Because we don't know that, we become, once again, Taihya Vagrova, whether they were a tiger va, Simho va, a lion, Vrikova, Varaho, what's that, a bull, a mosquito, Yat Bhavati, Tat Bhavati, whatever they were, that they become again, because they didn't know.
Oh, good. I remember. I know that verse. That's right. Yeah. Because they don't know,
Yes,
they become that
yes. Not knowing, they become one with Sat. Whether they were a tiger, because of Avidya. Bhashyakaras evam artatvena. And the Bhashyakara on this verse, by bringing out this meaning, artatvena eva shrutim vyakarot, he brought out this meaning of the Shruti. And he quotes Shankaracharya's quote on this. Yasmat, because evam atmanaha, because of this evam atmanaha, the self, sat rupatvam, being of the form of sat, reality, existence, agyanatva eva, being agnyatva eva, this atmanaha being agnyatva eva, sat sampadhyante, they merge into that. Those selves merge into that. Ataha, te, and so they, iha loke, here in this world, because of that agnyatva eva sat sampadyate, because of that, they, here in this world, yat karma nimittam, depending on their karma, yam jatim, whatever birth, pratipana, they attain, Vyagra adinam, like tigers, etc. Vyagro aham, I am a Vyagra. Simo aham, I am a lion. Iti evam te, tat karma, jnana, vasana, angitaha. Because in deep sleep, they were still there and they didn't know themselves. And so their karma and their jnana and their vasana, santaha, Sat pravishta api, even though they were sat pravishta, Shankara says merge pravishta into sat, api, tat bhavena eva, by that state eva punaha abhavanti, they become that again, punaha, they go again back to sat, sataha agatya. Having gone back to Sat, punaha, they become a tiger. So that was Shankara's, even though we become Sat Sampatti in deep sleep, which is Turiya. Deep sleep is Turiya. But because we don't know of that, that's given as the reason why we wake up according to our karma and our jnana and our vasana, but karma, jnana, and vasana is only in the waking state.
Right. Good.
Right? Yeah. But we assume that we were existing there and we didn't know. Because we think that we woke up, that there's one ego passing through three states. I was waking, and then I dreamt, then I was in deep sleep, but I didn't know anything. And I didn't know I was merged into Sat. The Shastra tells me. Nobody knows Sat Sampatya. The Shruti says in deep sleep he's merged into Sat. And the reason he doesn't know, the Shruti says, is Ekatvam. There's no second thing there. It's not that the knower's knowing ceases. That's the Shruti telling us that. The Lokika Vyavahara is in deep sleep, na kimchit gyashyat agyanati. In deep sleep, I didn't know anything. That's the Anubhava that the people say. Shankara says, when a person says that, he's not negating the drishti. He's negating the drishya. I knew no thing. Doesn't mean I wasn't the knower. I'm just negating I knew no thing. The negation of all the drishya. Not the drishtra. The drishtra is there. On the basis of that, he says, I know no thing. He doesn't negate his own seeing. This is the analysis of Shankara and Vedantins about the experience of deep sleep. It's not Krishna Swamiyaya, it's Gaudapada and Shankara.
Good.
And the Shruti itself is telling us this. They didn't make it up. That deep sleep is Sat. We become one with Sat. Sva apati. He enters into his own self.
Good. Sva apati.
Is Svapati.
Yeah,
He
Svapati.
sleeps.
Good. Yeah.
The Shruti makes that thing itself.
They didn't make that distinction.
Yeah. When he sleeps, he's Sva apati. He enters into his own self. He neither knows.
Good. Okay. Should I keep going?
Please.
Let's see if I can do this here. Satchitananda is not on strong ground here, for it is hard to refute the evidence provided by the direct mention of the word fourth in the Mandukya. Let me see if we read that. And the Upanishad also explicitly...
One second. Swamiji wrote a commentary, a whole book on the Mandukya. He knows the word is fourth, is there. What does he say about it? He doesn't leave. He's got to say something. What does he say? Oh, leave this word out? Why is it called the fourth? Shankara calls it in relation to the illusory three, counting by the illusory. Let me just say one thing. If you take the example like this, a rope with a snake, a garland, or a snake, three misconceptions. Yeah. So there's four things, right? And you can call it 1, 2, 3, 4. So
4 parts,
these three are Maya.
Right.
Maya Samkhya, it's called the fourth.
Right.
But really the fourth is not a separate thing different than these. It's the truth of these.
The truth of that. Good.
The adhisthana of these three is called Turiya.
Good.
It's not a separate state. The Upanishads are not teaching that Atman is something different than this world that exists, and Atman is different from it.
That's known. I don't think that's...
But if you think there's three states, in relation to the three states, it's called...
the fourth.
The fourth.
Yeah.
But it's not really a separate state.
There's no relation.
If it was a separate state, then would be dualistic.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Chaturtha, it's the fourth. What does that mean? Where's your Advaita if there's four states?
It is my opinion that many post-Sankara Advaitins have possibly, in response to the probing question from their opponents, tended to focus rather excessively on the problem of the nature of Avidya, or Maya, treating here...
See, as synonyms.
Treating here the two terms as identical in meaning.
Yeah. See, that's the first, because that's where Padmapada started.
This is his opinion. And perhaps also coming under the ubiquitous influence of the Sankhya concept of Prakriti.
Yes, realists.
They have tended to materialize Avidya Maya.
He understands that. That's the whole critique. He would have never said that. He's really critiquing his own guru.
Let's see what he says. And treated as a virtual reality in its own right. Of course, it is Avidya Maya that is postulated as the necessary bridge at the inexplicable junction between the realms of Vyavahara and...
Padmapada said, we must presume that there is such a thing, because without it, we can't explain how the non-dual Brahman, this world could appear. We must accept something, but it can't be Sat.
Right.
Why? What's the main reason Avidya can't be said to be existent?
Because it's seen.
No, if it was existent,
right,
we'd be dualist, like Sankhya.
Oh, yes, okay.
But good. Why can't we say it's non-existent?
Because we see it, because we can't deny it. It's just,
because
it must be
if it was non-existent, the world couldn't appear.
Yeah.
If it was existent, so it's, what does he call it? Indeterminable.
Yeah, that's what he calls it. Yeah. Okay, let's go. My opinion under the ubiquitous influence of Sankhya concept of Prakriti, they have tended to materialize, these are the post-commentaries, materialize avidya maya and treat it as a virtual reality in its own right. Of course, it is avidya maya that is postulated as a necessary bridge in the inexplicable, I read that, inexplicable junction between the realms of Vyavahara and Paramartika. But even while Advaitins freely admit that the juncture between the Vyavahara and Paramartika is incomprehensible and hence inexplicable, and to say that it is a vidya or maya ultimately means just that. They have nonetheless reified avidya maya to the extent that it has almost become an entity in its own right.
Not almost.
This approach has resulted in the often clear subordination of the concept of Ishwar to that of Maya, whereas I believe it would be more beneficial both religiously and philosophically to frankly acknowledge the inexplicability of the relation between Vyavahara and Paramartika and to keep Brahman as the central concern throughout. That's fine. And Brahman is always equivalent to Ishwar, this is Dayananda, from the cosmic perspective of the existence of the world, Vyavaharika, Vyavaharata, which is a fact many Advaitins seem to overlook.
Yeah.
It is only...
He's overlooking it. That Brahman is only Ishvara from the point of view of the world, and the world is avidya kalpita. From the point of view of the imagined world, that just like the rope is said to be the Ishvara for the snake. The snake, it pervades it. The snake arose from the rope. It pervades it. It's going to merge. When the lights go out, it merges back in the rope. The existence of the rope is nothing, of the snake is nothing but the rope. The rope is the Ishvara. That one reality in relation to the apparent world that's imagined by ignorance. It comes from that, it abides in that, it goes, that is the Ish, it's called the Ishvara in relation to the world, which is avidya kalpita. Because if you know Atman, there's no world. Sarvam idam Atma eva. Yeah. What are you doing there with that big photograph?